This video is sponsored by Upstart. I got a cliff drop off right there, and I got a rock wall on that side. This trail. Hey everybody, Syntax77 here. It is early May. I'm down here in North Carolina, in a little spot called Linville Gorge, about 30 miles from the Tennessee border. I got 3 days, 2 nights, a backpack, and I'm gonna attempt a little something called the Grand Loop. As I get out of the vehicle here, it is nice and sunny out. This loop is roughly 40 miles, 11,000 feet of elevation gain on some rugged trails, many, if not most of which are unofficial, unmaintained, and pretty rugged, like I said. So, grab my pack here. I'm going ultralight on this one. I'll get my snack out of the way. Probably running under 10 pounds, thankfully. But I got a decent amount of food and water. Grab my cell phone, definitely going to need that for navigation.
You might want to pull up a little bit.
Got some sort of sports car convention behind me here. I'm not sure what's going on. What I'm at right now is Linville Falls Visitor Center. Compared to what we're about to get into, this is pretty much Disney World, but fear not. This is a day hiking area. We're going to get away from here, go about 20 miles south along the river that goes through the gorge, and then 20 miles north along the mountaintops to return here hopefully in 3 days. There it is, the Linville River. And I started here and parked here because there's actually a bridge. At the south end, won't quite have the same luck. And many years ago, like over 10, there used to be a bridge, hiking bridge in the middle of this loop where you could create smaller loops, but it got washed out and never replaced. It can rage pretty hard. The river, that is. We got 3 days of rain before I got here, so we'll see. This up here is not a really high flow area compared to down towards the middle, but at the end it's not as bad as well, but we'll see with all that rain how it is. You can see the trail. This is about as good as you're going to see it, but pretty soon we'll hop off and we'll get into the thick of it. The bad news is I already made my first mistake and blew right past, apparently, the unofficial trail. And it doesn't surprise me. That's the way it is around here. There's 15 official trails, meaning recognized and maintained by the Forest Service. But there's like 100 or so unofficial trails. For my astute viewers out there, you may think all of this sounds a little familiar, and that's because I was here almost 2 years ago exactly, attempting this same loop, and I failed. There's a whole separate video on it, but basically I got less than a third of the way into the loop. I did 10 miles my first day. The second morning, just could not follow or find or stay on top of one of the unofficial trails called the Ledge Trail. And it was raining, bad weather. Didn't quite make it. Hoping for better luck this time to make things more interesting and maybe navigation better when I get to that problem spot. I'm switching it up and going counterclockwise, so we'll be doing the river first, then up on the ridge day 2, And then day 3, more ridge and back to the vehicle, if all goes well. Actually, according to my GPS, the Marion unofficial trail is right by this bench. Oh, and actually I remember seeing this sign. Unlawful, huh? Oh boy. What do you think? End the trip now? Just do this as like a day hike maybe? Public lands, they call it. Your tax dollars at work. Anyway, here we go on the Marion Trail. This should wind us around for a little bit, and then eventually we'll get on another trail and drop towards the river. Now, by all standards, for an unofficial trail, this is pretty easy to follow. It can get much worse, so this is a good way to ease into it. The Grand Loop, honestly, because of the huge network of trails in here, there is a lot of ways to do it. And you'll see lots of variations. I'm not here to check off some specific record book thing. If I make my own Grand Loop, which, like I said, what is it really? That's fine. The real meat of it is go up and down the entire gorge using the available trails. And that is what we're going to attempt to do. It is after 10 o'clock. Next thing I know, it'll probably be 11. Sunset is at 8 o'clock. I got 9 hours of daylight. I'm thinking I'm going to break this trip down mileage wise because it's around 40. 10 today, then 15. If I feel like cranking out some more today, fine. But I'll consider today a warm-up day. Like I said, it's got the least amount of elevation change. It's still around 2,000 feet of total elevation gain because of those up and downs, even though I'm going down to the river. That's still pretty substantial. The other days, I think one of them has 5,000, and you know, the other one is similar. Well, there's a little view there, look at that. You can see it through the trees. Nice. It's warming up. It's probably in the low 60s now. It was 40 degrees this morning. It'll go up allegedly to 80 degrees each day. Temp range of 40 to 80. Not bad. As long as there's no rain, that's fine with me. Haven't really lost much elevation yet. I have lost a few layers of clothing. It is getting warm in here. But the trail is nice and beautiful, calm. Actually, we just popped out onto another official trail. The Linville Gorge Trail. I believe it's also the Pine Gap Trail in name. And now we are dropping down. Yeah, there's a view of the cliff on the other side there. Probably looks pretty similar straight down here. We're kind of on the edge of it, hence all the exposed rock here. Remember how I said lots of up and downs. So that looks like a spur to the water, but we're going back up and down and up and down. I can really hear that rushing water now. Oh man, look at that drop off. That is gut-wrenching. Whew. Look at it go. Beautiful. Not bad. Flowers blooming. And we're going down again. Back down to the water. This down tree. I gotta get myself around this. Okay. Sweating now. Wow. Whew. Back up there. Hard to believe we came up off the water. Once again, it's about 1 o'clock. I guess we're 4-ish miles in. A couple wrong turns. Didn't do me too much justice, and honestly around here probably only go 1.5 miles, a lot of times a mile per hour. It's really similar to the White Mountains. You really got to kind of cut your expectations in half. A 1/10 of a mile down here should be something called Babel Tower, which I honestly have heard of before, but I'm not sure what it is. If this is a trail, I don't know. Ooh. Certainly can't go any further out that way. But either way, that's a beautiful view, so I'll take it, whatever this is. Somebody's probably shouting at me right now that I'm just need to go left, right, XYZ, but this works for me. I got plenty of miles to make. There's a lot of little nooks and crannies to explore in the gorge, and I'll probably be more apt to do that with my time once I'm further into the trip and know I have some time to play with. But for now, I'm just going to soak in this view and then get back on it. Little view of Table Rock Mountain. Hard to believe, but we will get there tomorrow, not today, but we will get there. Let the descent begin. This time, once we get to the river, we'll be sticking more closely along it instead of just getting teased by coming up and down to it. That is where we will be camping tonight. Yep. She's flowing a little different than up at the visitor center, isn't it? That is some deep pools, fast moving current. Let's see what we get next here. I believe is Hawksbill, and the edge of that down in here, that is where I got lost last time. Because remember, I was coming clockwise, so I came up there on day one, got to my 10-mile mark, couldn't find the beginning of the ledge trail, called it, camped up there in the rain overnight, came down next morning, spent forever in heavy rain, couldn't find the trail, and the rest is history. never went any further than that. Let's hope we can change that. That'll actually be on day 3. So I got between now and then to decide, do I want to circumvent that ledge trail or try my chances with it again? I don't know. I got weird vibes about that trail. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Unfortunately, there's a connector trail that you have to go in a little ways before I would even find out if I got lost again. So it would cost me some time if I went in and backed out. The other option is a forest road that I could use to hook around the other side. I don't know. I'll spend the next day and a half pondering that as I walk along, I guess. But before we get too far into this adventure, I'd like to thank our sponsor for this video, Upstart. Upstart is an online lending platform that helps people free themselves from high interest debt, whether that be personal expenses, educational, or the granddaddy of them all, high interest credit card debt. They can help you get smarter interest rates to free yourself from that debt. Look, a lot of us have been there. There's no shame in it, but it can be really stressful. You have an unexpected expense come up, you use your credit card to get you through it, but next thing you know, you still have your old bills to pay and you're making minimum payments, and that can take forever to pay off and cost you a lot of money in high interest. And that is where Upstart comes in. Their personal loans can help you pay down that high interest rate debt all online with simple and easy to understand terms. It's really quick and easy. You can get your rate in a matter of minutes for loans from $1,000 to $50,000. And no, this will not hurt your credit score. In fact, using Upstart to get your finances in order can actually help improve your credit score. And speaking of that, look, Upstart knows you're more than just your credit score. So they actually use AI to give you a smarter rate based on additional factors like your current employment and income and some other information that you'll give them online. Look, if this is something that's stressing you out, this is something worth checking out. You can go to upstart.com/syntax. Get started today on improving your financial future. It's just worth looking into. And if you want to help out the channel, make sure to use that link down in the video description so they know that Syntax sent you. I can tell you from personal experience, not having credit card debt hanging over your head is an amazing feeling, and it is totally achievable. Speaking of achievable, we should probably get back on the trail, find a decent lunch spot, because what I need is some noodles. Lunchtime. Probably about 7 miles in and 3 to go. So I'm not going to stay here. I'm going to push on after this, but I'm going to have some lunch. I got the alcohol stove going with a little heat fuel. Going to let these noodles steep cook after the flame goes out, and maybe just take a half hour here to relax. It is 3:30, so I should be mindful of that. My original plan was hopefully get to camp by 6, but who knows what'll happen. Hopefully before dark. But it is nice to take a load off. This is the first time I've properly sat down. Actually, the first time I've sat down at all since I left the parking lot. I've been stopping and soaking in the sights, but it's nice to sit. So I'm gonna have this. There are a ton of ants around here, so that's making me feel a little better about not staying here. I think they would be all over me and my gear if I stayed here any more than a lunch break. Back to the rocks and roots, on to find a home for the night. I'm settled back into the groove, got some food in my belly, some salt and electrolytes. Probably gonna refill my water bottle, and as a matter of fact, there's water right here. A little hydration till I get to camp, and then hopefully there's water by camp too. But I am empty. It's time to get that. Just gonna fill up a ½ liter. Water should be pretty plentiful, so no sense carrying all that extra weight on my back. Hit that with a little potable aqua, water treatment, 1 tab for ½ liter, wait half an hour, should be good to go. And that's some pretty nice clear water right there. I should also point out, I picked this campsite strictly on mileage. I have no idea what it looks like. I don't know if it's a good campsite. Who knows? Just because it's 10 miles in, and I need to do 10 miles, so we'll see. Whew. Came up that hill. I was cruising, and I was like, ½ mile, good terrain, run for it. And I legit almost stepped on right there. That is a beast. I was very close to that with my feet. You're not gonna move, are you? Whew. I have my eyes up. Most of the time I'm looking down at my feet. I have my eyes up because, look, that's not what I'm going for, but there's a campsite right there. I just happened to look down right when he was underneath me, and I pretty much levitated backwards. Okay. PETA's gonna hate me, but I'm not walking near that thing. Don't come this way. Why are you coming over here? Don't come over here. Yeah, that way. That way. There you go. How fast do these things go? Like if you wanted to be over here right now. Anybody got an answer to that? 1 second, 1 minute. Definitely under 1 minute. I think he's slowly leaving. Okay, bye. Sorry. Anyway, not camping here. Let's keep going. One last steep descent, and the moment of truth has arrived. I believe that is the campsite I'm shooting for. About 300 feet in front of me. At the bottom of this steep section here. Don't see any activity. Looks empty. It is right on the trail, unfortunately. Okay. I see water access, but I hear water right over there. It's probably that stream I saw on the topo map. Yeah, it's not super ideal for a hammock, just because the trail's right there and the fire pit's there. The hammock could squeeze between these two trees, but then I got my fire pit underneath of me. Darn it. I don't think the next campsite's for another mile. 6:22 after wasting time with that snake. What should I do? There's still some daylight, but it is going away. I believe we're going to... we're pushing ahead. Looks like it's less than a mile. Why not? It's only going to get me more progress out of the way tomorrow. The next campsite, it can't be any worse than that, can it? I don't know. We'll see. Well, here it is. Pretty similar to the other campsite in terms of not really great opportunity for a hammock. Maybe these two trees, but my tarp will be going in the trail. That's no bueno. Upside is there is actually a small trickle of a creek right here, and the trail continues over there, kind of takes a right turn. But hold on, from my map and trail notes from linvillegorge.net, I know that there's another campsite listed over here, and that's where the river is, and I see a little footpath. So let's check it out. And also, pro tip, I think I mentioned this in the last video, if you're going to do Linville Gorge, get the Avenza app. It's a navigation app. Linvillegorge.net updates their map on there, and it is amazing. You get a little overlay and it shows you everything, water symbols, campsites, all the good stuff. So I use that as well as my Gaia app, which is actually tracking my stats and GPS track and all that stuff. So let's see. I hear the river. Oh yeah. Oh, all of a sudden it's bright. Feels like I got an extra hour of sunlight out here. Wow. OMG. To quote Red Dead Redemption. Just a little throwback for you. This is awesome, and there are hammock opportunities for sure. For instance, those are pretty far apart, but you can see it, we can work. Actually, maybe there to there. Nah, I don't know. Oh, over here. It's looking good. Got a big old fire pit there. The kids' fire pit over there. You know, for like Thanksgiving, you have the adult fire pit, kids' fire pit. Got the beautiful water over here. I feel like I'm selling a house right now or something. But check it out. This is so much better than up there. It is about 7 o'clock now. We're going on it. But I'll be sitting out here tonight. This is perfect. So much better than being tucked back in the woods. I mean, if you're going to come down to the gorge, might as well get down by the water, right? Now, I'm going to grab water from here. But I'll tell you what, you'll find plenty of people that say, do not drink the water from here because of metal content. I've heard everything from high mercury to people saying lead, which other people say is BS. That's just because of the trail around here called Lead Mine, but there was never actually any lead mines all the way up here. I don't know. You can do a little Googling. Totally recommend that you look into that yourself before drinking this water, but it's right here, I'm drinking it. And I don't think it'll hurt me for one day. But anyway, enough about water. Let's get some hammock action going. Taking the pack off. And I'm hoping I dry out before the temps swing down to 40 degrees or so, but that won't be that low. It won't be till like 6 a.m. tomorrow or 5 a.m. something like that. And then it'll start getting light around that same time. We'll probably leave early in the morning. Still got a lot to do tomorrow, even though we did knock out an extra mile today, but still a lot to do. And once we get across the river, a lot of uphill. So today was just a warm-up. But food bag, we'll hang that up later after I'm done cooking. I also have a really lightweight rain jacket that can help with warmth. Probably overkill because I brought the jacket, but I have a merino wool shirt as well. My hammock system right there with the straps in it, that's what's going to go up first. And then my quilts are in here, under quilt, and then I have a top quilt too. We'll get to that last. My tarp, I'm probably just going to put up and I'll have it ready to go in the snake skins, but I won't deploy it because I'm not anticipating, there's my first aid kit, my toilet paper flying out there. I'm not anticipating rain, so I'm just going to leave this bad boy up above the hammock like this, and then I can pull those snake skins back and deploy it quickly if I did get a random shower. And oh wow, I got a view of one of the peaks right there. This is a prime campsite. That's awesome. Not bad. So I'm gonna get the hammock up real quick because got about an hour till sunset. The bugs are out, but I'm still using my half wit, so we'll see how that goes. There we go. So, hammock is up, just needs to be adjusted. I'll tighten both those straps just by pulling on them, the beetle buckle straps. Then I'll get that tarp up. Tarp's up. Quilts are out. Got the 30-degree underquilt. Plenty warm for 40 degrees. And the 30-degree top is in there. So, it's after 7. Might be time for some dinner, some hydration. I got some more water that I treated. And then, I don't know, just enjoy ourselves at camp. See if I have energy to make a fire. But first things first, we'll get some dinner, at least rehydrating, while I decide if I want to do that. What do we want to do here? Pop-Tarts for breakfast tomorrow. Shrimp I already had. Shrimp noodles, that is, for lunch. My dinner options, beef stroganoff with noodles. I went all Mountain House because I ran low on packet gourmet, so I just hit Walmart real quick for that and the heat fuel that I needed. Chicken fried rice and lasagna with meat sauce. Well, 560 calories, 600, 440. That's actually a better lunch. 440 calories, 560, 600. Okay, we saved chicken fried rice for tomorrow because we're going to be burning more calories and I'm going to be hungrier at camp tomorrow. I can almost guarantee it. Save that. This is the lightest calorie. We save it for lunch, and that means beef stroganoff noodles are the winner. So, get a little heat fuel in my wicking cat can stove, which you can totally get by with a regular cat can with holes in it, but this guy's pretty cool. A viewer sent it. It's got a little fiberglass in there to wick it up, and it actually burns out the sides. It's got 2 air holes there to feed it. Pretty cool. I do need water. I got 2 liters being treated right now, but since I'm going to boil this water anyway, might as well just dip from the stream. It will be a little colder, but I got plenty of fuel, so yeah, that's what we're going to do. Let's go get some water. That daylight is going away. Got my rock chair here. Oh, it's actually not that bad. Let's see how this came out. A lot of these meals, I don't know. Couldn't tell you if they're actually how good they are anymore, because to me, they always remind me of previous trips. So I thoroughly enjoy them. Might have to actually let that cool down a little bit, but I'm going to let it cool down while it's sealed. It'll thicken up even more. But I'm going to hang out, rehydrate, got some electrolyte water. Got the moon above me there, that's nice. A little over a half moon. Getting dark. I'll probably take it easy. Hiker midnight will hit soon, which doesn't seem to be very far around the corner. And I'll hop in the hammock after a fire. Alright, we'll give this a shot. It'll be a small fire. I won't be up too long. Hot meal, a little fire to stare at, a hammock to snooze in. Not a bad day. Good morning, everyone. It's about 6:30. The birds are chirping. I'm sure my hair looks great, and I'm feeling pretty good. Slept good. According to my thermometer over there, it's only 47 degrees. That's nice. And the low is only 47, so we're right on the low. Didn't have the tarp down, as you can see, and bugs went away because of the temp, so I had that out of my face. Stared at the stars last night. It was awesome. And I just came to the realization, I was reviewing my map on my phone, and that over there that I've been staring at, that little mountaintop, is actually just about exactly where I'm headed today. It's right there. It's the chimneys. But for me, it's 13 miles and 4,500 feet of elevation gain total away, because I got to go all the way down to the bottom of the loop, cross the river, and then make my way back up to it. So I am at camp, staring at tonight's camp, but I got a long way to go. So I should probably get up. Maybe, I think I'll take the luxury of making a cup of coffee before I break down camp. It's a little hot right now. Perhaps I'll stop at the top. Start with, wow, I definitely need my coffee. I'll stop at the Pop-Tart. I'll stop with it when it's gone, I guess. I'm honestly not hungry right now, but we got some work in front of us. So I'll get some calories in me. Pure sugar and carbs. See how this water crossing is later too. I know that water's going to be cold. I didn't bring water shoes or anything like that, water socks like I did my previous trip. So it's either go through in my shoes, hope it gets back up to 80 and they dry, or barefoot. That's what's on my mind right now. But we got a lot of miles to do before that. Alright, get back at it. Campsite, all clear. Back to the way we found it. Great little campsite. Actually, a great decent sized campsite. But now it's time to exit Narnia. It feels like, at least. Go through this little passage and we'll pop back out on that smaller campsite and trail that we almost took yesterday, but luckily we found this little paradise. Here we are. Sun is shining. Wave goodbye to the camp. Once we get on the other side on the ridge, it'll get a little more rugged. Didn't leave camp until 8:30. Typical for me to not make a very fast exit. But we're getting that uphill now. Leaving the river quickly behind. And making our way up and away from it for a little bit. We do some up and downs, and then we drop down to where we cross the river. Burning that Pop-Tart now. We are now coinciding with the Mst Trail, or the Mountain to Sea Trail. That's a long distance trail in North Carolina. It runs through here. Begins in the Smokies, ends in the Outer Banks. Pretty cool. It's about 1,100 miles long. So we're going to use this for a little bit. In fact, we're going to use this as our crossing of Linville River. That's the best kind of marked crossing down here. And the MST is, you know, a generally much more well-maintained trail compared to 90% of the ones out here. So I would trust that is the best crossing spot. Almost level to Short Off Mountain right there, which we will be crossing today with a little bit of luck and continuing past to Chimney, which is what we saw earlier from the Hammock. There it is, Short Off. Gotta get on top of that today. All right, we'll be descending back down to river level at this point over the course of the next couple miles or so. All right, I believe this is it. You can see the sign on the other side there, that large white disc. It's nice and shallow, but it is wide. That's a walk. It's a lot of little mini boulders to go across. My feet are already a little sore. My shoes are already a little damp just from hiking. I'm really not in the mood to put my bare feet carefully on all those rocks. So I think that means I'm just going to walk across this. I'm not going to waste a bunch of time negotiating what to do here. We're just going to go ahead. It should hopefully heat up to 80. We got plenty of mileage to do after this, and these Wildcat shoes do dry out pretty quick. So let's do it. Woo, almost to the knee already. Ooh. Yeah, these are slippery. And there's some small little ones down in there. I'm glad to be doing this instead. Just got the bottom of the pants a little wet. I think it gets more shallow in the middle here. The water actually feels kind of nice. I'm washing my shoes right now. We got a nice view over there. Just standing in the middle of the river. At least it's not moving like it was at that camp we were at this morning, last night. I remember years ago when I first started hiking, I would bring flip-flops with me because they were light as possible, but I figured I'd wear them for water crossings until I realized that you had to hold on really tight with your front two toes or they would go flying away. And I think by the end of that trip, I did lose one. So it was all in vain. This isn't bad at all though. I imagine when there's higher flow, this wouldn't be as fun, but this is pretty chill. Now, all we gotta hope for at this point is that there's not another deep pool to get me out of here that goes up above my pant legs. I think if I go straight across here, it's not too deep, and we'll get ourselves right out of here. Ow, I step in mud at the end. I'm not having that. So we're going back into the current. I'm not going to do all that just to have muddy feet. Do a little boot wash. Get these things nice and clean. Should be good. Made it. Easy peasy. Now we just hike hard and dry them out. And now the uphill begins. Gotta get on top of Short Off, which is what we were looking at before. I'm thinking that should be a good goal for lunch. I'm also thinking that I was pretty stupid and didn't refill my water down there for both lunch and drinking. But there's a couple springs listed on my Avenza map. I'm just gonna hope that they are actually flowing. A lot of stuff isn't flowing right now. We'll hope for the best. There's a couple sources, we'll see. We're getting there. You can see some evidence of the prescribed burn from, 10 years ago or so. Oh, the sun is beating down now. And yeah, not grabbing water out of the river was stupid. I was just all preoccupied with having actually finally checked that off the list today. I forgot all about the important stuff. It has just been straight up from the river to the top of Short Off here. No switchbacks. And this is actually the MST, which is about as official as it gets around here. But no switchbacks, straight up. I'm dreaming about water and lunch. Looks pretty dry out here. All right. It's a puddle, but if you look ahead, there's a little outlet there. I think we can make this work. Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah, I'm just gonna load up. Let's do it. I'm not gonna go too crazy, but I am gonna get enough to drink and cook lunch. Beautiful flat area up here. I think we've got the elevation out of the way. Some shade, a cool breeze, and 1.5 liters of water. All we need now are some views. There's Hawksbill. We're going to save that for tomorrow, beginning of tomorrow. And around this corner should be another view. Let's go check it out. Wow. That sounds like a fighter jet. It sounded like it was on the other side of that ridge. Now he's back around behind me. This will be like the 3rd trip this year where I hear one and don't get a glimpse of it. Well, sounds like they are gone. At least we still got the view. See a little campsite down there. Probably get some decent wind, but at least it's protected back here. No trees for a hammock, but not bad. Might be a good spot to call it for some lunch. Sit and take a break. That'll do. Oh, nice and cool under here. Gonna get my food bag out, make some midday lasagna. It is 1 o'clock on the dot, so probably gonna take like a half-hour break here, maybe even a little bit longer. Just relax. I've been humping it all day, and right over that way, a few more miles, and we'll be to the end of our 14 miles for today. Alright, got the shoes and the socks drying out in the sun. Solar charger going over there just to get the phone topped off for GPS, and some cheesy lasagna. Yep. So I'll get some calories in me, soak in this view a little longer, and then we'll see how dry the shoes got. They were already getting pretty well and dried out, so that should get them real close up there. I got the inserts pulled out now, and just letting those sit, letting the feet dry out a bit, and then I'll pack it up and go. It's actually pushing on, it's like 1:45, so I'm probably going to be here till 2. It'll be like an hour break. That's fine. Didn't come out here to just beat myself up. It's good to get some views too. But we'll get back at it soon. Still not a cloud in the sky. Faint little hint. You can see the river down there. Or, sorry, in there. Yeah. And up over in there. So, oh look, there's one cloud in the sky. All right, let's get on to the chimneys. One more view before we descend. Still got some work in front of us, but that real rough ascent up to Short Off is behind us now. There through the trees is the chimneys, and here's our downhill. We got to go down to the base of that and then back up 1,000 feet. In the little dip in between before we go up should be that spring I've been looking forward to, so I can refill. There's no water up on the chimneys that I can see reliably on my map, so unfortunately I'll have to load up, which is some weight, but I don't see any way around it. I see a couple campsite opportunities, one or two at the very top, and one alongside the ridge on the way up. At this point it's 3:30, so I'm doing good on time, but we'll see how I feel once we get down here. It's not a bad spot. 343 though. I got about a mile and a half and 1,000 feet of elevation gain. Should probably just suck it up and do it, but spring should be down there if I remember correctly. Bit of a hike to get down here. Kind of regretting bringing my pack down here now, but fine. Just nice to have some water. All right, executive decision. Let's suck it up, do a final push, get up there, see what happens. It worked yesterday. Am I pushing my luck today? I don't know. Hopefully there's a decent campsite up here. Not gonna lie, even though I've embarked on this journey, I'm probably taking the first campsite I see. Have a little time to camp tonight. Unless it doesn't look, unless it's terrible. But we'll find out pretty soon, I believe. See a fire pit. Oh, some more space over there. It's not up on top of the mountain. but I'm just feeling like I'm ready to call it a day. And on top of that, apparently when I put my watch in offline mode, which is basically, you know, it's a smartwatch, but I put it in just regular old non-smartwatch. It just has a compass and the time on there, elevation. Apparently I switched time zones or something. So I've been wrong this whole time. It is an hour later than my watch says. It's not 4:30, it's 5:30. So I'm just gonna call it. Last night I pushed it a little far time-wise. Today I'm gonna have some time at camp. Probably gonna find a rough spot for my hammock and then maybe work on the fire first, just to do that while it's actually daylight. Have a little fun. I did say I was going to collect firewood, right? Does feel good to lay in the hammock. The sun right on me. But there is a lot of bee activity around here. And other small flying insects in general, but I'm not really paying attention to them. It's more the bees that are buzzing around my ears and gear that are getting to me. So maybe a little smudge fire will take care of that. We'll see. We'll get some smoke in the air. See what kind of firewood is around here.
Tonight, mostly clear. Lows in the upper 40s. Northeast winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. Thursday, mostly sunny. Highs in the upper 60s. East winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. Thursday night, mostly cloudy.
I'm thinking I'm not even going to bother putting a tarp up. No clouds in the sky. If the forecast hasn't changed, and I don't think it has, it should be good to go tonight. That fire's taking off pretty good too. Firewood situation's actually not that bad. Just might make it through the night. It's pushing on 6 o'clock, but oh wait, no, my watch is still wrong. It's pushing on 7 o'clock. Wow, where did an hour and a half go? It's 6:45. But I don't know. I'll probably wait till sunset to have dinner, and in the meantime, maybe a little siesta in the hammock. Just relax. Keep an eye on the fire. It's right there. Little chicken fried rice, sriracha grab and go, hot sauce. Not actually official sunset, but it has crested the hill, so I'm losing light. And I probably won't be staying up late. Last night I actually did. I played with the fire for a bit. I was actually up till 11, which is pretty late by hiker standards. But today, I think that will be a little bit earlier. I'll play around, gather some more wood, hang out here for a little bit, and then honestly I don't have much else better to do, so probably hang out in the hammock, and whenever I fall asleep, I fall asleep. We'll get up early, do this 15 or 16 miles or whatever it is at this point, and we'll go see if I want to tackle that ledge trail that kind of got the best of me last time. Guess it'll depend on timing or just my gut feel when I get there, but that's for tomorrow. For now, it's eat, fire, sleep. Morning, everyone. Sun is out. 7:15 a.m. Camp is broken down. All clear. And we are getting back on the trail. Get to the top of the chimneys here. Beyond that, we will leave the MST and get onto some unofficial trails. Thus, today being probably our gnarliest day of navigation. My legs are not happy with me today. I gotta warm up a bit. I haven't had breakfast or coffee. I figure we can do that up top here. I just wanted to get moving. Didn't think I had an appetite, but now that I'm going straight up, I'm instantly hungry. A little more wind up here. Here we are, beginning of the chimneys, I believe. Wonder what that campsite that I passed up last night is gonna look like. Is that marking something? I think this should be a view then, because the campsite's over there. Well, let's look at it. I don't know. It's winding way downhill. I don't know what this is. Hold on. It's a trail called Amphitheater and Mummy. Unfortunately, I just don't have time for that. This Grand Loop is awesome. It's giving me like a crash course on the entire gorge, but that doesn't mean this is the way that you have to do it or even should do it. You could come out here and spend the exact same amount of time and see all kinds of stuff and have a great time in a much smaller area, and that's what I'll have to come back and do sometime, so I can do all these little side trails and little anomalies to look at and stuff like that. Speaking of which, the last campsite up here that I might have taken last night is right here. Yeah, this isn't bad. Again, a little jammed up with hammocks. High bear activity in area. We would not recommend camping in this location. That would have been a nice sign to see in the middle of the night, huh? Yeah, that's a real tight squeeze for a hammock. It's one of those deals where you'd have to go across trees really close to the fire. It is a cool view, for sure. Yeah, not bad, but I'm happy with both my campsite choices so far, or gambles so far. So, all right, we solved that mystery / debate. Now let's get up there and over the top. Wow. This is awesome. Woo! That is a nice view. Wide view of the gorge. You can see the sheer drop off. So it's like 1,200 to 1,500 feet depth. And, oh, I forget. Linville Gorge Trail is 11 miles long, so I don't know if it's 11, 15 miles long. Only a few miles wide, as you can see. Maybe a couple miles wide in spots. If that. It is a really cool, unique area. Oh, and look at that. Tomorrow, according to my weatherman radio, there will finally be some rain. Look at that. That mountain range just beyond over there. All the clouds are stuck on him. I timed this perfectly and just lucked out. Tomorrow is Friday, and that's when the rain comes. Maybe even tonight, I forget. But I know I'll be out of here. A little view of the geology there. Pretty amazing. Feeling good. I'm seeing a lot of sights. Last time I didn't get as many of these mountain views when I did this trip. I got a lot more of the woods views on the end section that I'll go through today. I think this has given me an answer to my decision that I had to make for later. I think I just came to that conclusion. But we'll get to that when we get to Hawksbill. Have a little morning coffee. Yum. Old school. Haven't done this in a while, but to save on time, don't feel like bringing my stove out again this trip. So, iced coffee, instant coffee packet, cold water. I got one more packet with me for a little pep in my step later on. And I got a packet of ramen noodles. That was my lunch today. Again, probably don't feel like stove. I don't know. We'll see if I change my mind, but I am not above crushing those up in a Ziploc bag, pouring the seasoning pack on, and eating them like chips. If you think that sounds crazy, it is. But it is good. Alright, we are headed that way. Look at that gnarly looking guy. Over, around, and eventually that way. It's going to be a good day. Such cool formations around here. In fact, coming down off of that vista on Chimney, I ran into two people hiking up. Saw them from the front, asked if they were doing a loop, and then I noticed they had a ton of rope. And I said, no, we're rock climbing. This is a pretty popular spot for rock climbers too. There's some good spots in here. And I said, what spot you doing? And they said amphitheater. So there you go, the answer to the question about amphitheater, and I assume probably mummy too. Those short little one-way trails are rock climbing spots. Pretty neat. Whoa. Speaking of rock climbing, look at that. Just awesome. There's actually a little bit of haze down in there by the river, slowly evaporating up, eventually turning into clouds like those. Making progress. We were just on top of that. Come to my first choice and intersection of the day. MST goes that way. Little Table Rock Trail goes this way. Both of them will get me to the spot I wanted to be. So where I could road hike to circumvent the ledge or take the ledge. But there's one key distinction here. There is water on Little Table Rock. And I need water. So I'm going that way. It might be a little less maintained than the MST, of course. But hydration is important. It's only about 9:15 right now, so I'm doing pretty good on time, but that can change quickly. Regardless of which trail I had chosen, we're giving back all that elevation gain that we made today, and then some, as we go down to the bottom of Hawksbill before ascending it. The good news is, though, I am starting to hear water. Here comes decision time. This is Spence Ridge Trail, which ultimately goes down to the river, the place where the washed out bridge is, where you could do a short loop in low flow. That's not an option for us. But a small portion of it will take you to the Unofficial Ledge Connector and Unofficial Ledge Trail, the one that haunted me on the last trip. If I go up here, it'll take me to a forest road that I can take to a day hiking trail to Hawksbill and continue on my journey. I've been going back and forth on this all day. And I said up top there that I made up my mind, and that decision was to just skip this, to say that leave that memory be. But now I'm here, it's 10:20, and part of me just needs to see this trail through to completion. I'm hoping that going uphill, up climbing is easier than down climbing. Last time I was running into a lot of ledges that I would run into, and then I'd have to backtrack. I didn't want to go down something I couldn't get up. In this case, I could just go up whatever I could find. And also, it won't be raining, so I won't have that pressure and that morale dump from being rained on, as well as not being able to properly take my cell phone out and use it through a plastic bag and all that stuff. That just kind of shut me down morale-wise last time. So, I'm going for it. Try to get redemption. It's the last day, so it's a little bit of a gamble time-wise, how much time I'll spend on this, considering I have to get back to the car. And I would like to get out of here at a time reasonable enough to go to Louise's, which is pretty much tradition around here. You finish a hike, you go to Louise's, you get a meal, you get some pie. In my case, a cheeseburger, and then some pie to go to take back to the hotel. But you're with me, we're doing it. Let's see what this connector trail looks like. According to my GPS, it should be right here. Looks like it's through this campsite, probably on the back side of it. Here we go. All semblance of trail is gone already. But luckily I got these two rock walls on the side, so there's not a whole lot of choice for me but to go right up the middle through all this brush, I guess. One last chance. A T, an intersection. One secret trail meeting another secret trail. That way does ultimately go to that same forest road. And this way, up the mountain to the ledge. Now, don't get me wrong, don't let me discourage anybody. I'm not trying to be too dramatic. This trail isn't that bad. It's just for me personally, for whatever reason, I had a weird feeling on it last time and a off experience. But if you're at all familiar with a little bit of bushwhacking and you have a GPS, do that. You'll be fine. But for me, it's just, I don't know what it is. But I feel I need to get up it. Should only be about a mile, maybe a hair less. For now, it actually looks like a trail. But from reading other people's reports, it's not much of a trail. You just kind of follow your GPS towards the top of Hawksbill at certain points. It's dark in here. Phase 2, we've broken out into the rock field. And I think this is what, now it may go into the brush again, but I think this is what really screwed me up last time. Is it was pouring rain, so not only for mental reasons, but physically, all of these were mossy and slippery. And I was trying to avoid them, maybe convincing myself the trail didn't go over them, which I think it really does now that I look back. and I was trying to go through brush that I probably wasn't supposed to. I don't know. It was a mess. Now it's nice and dry. Feeling good. All right, never mind. GPS says the trail's over here. Rock field's over there. I don't know. I'm just going to trust the GPS. But I'm telling you, my luck with this trail. Feels like I'm going away from Hawksbill, which is weird. But maybe that's what messes me and other people up. I don't know. Sure feel like there's no trail over here though. Hey, here we go again. It says the trail's over there. I know you can't probably see it, but that's a cliff drop off right there. No semblance of trail. I don't get it. Well, I don't want to fall off the cliff, and Hawksbill's over there, so I'm just going to walk along the closest thing I can to this line on the map and see what happens. Good Lord. This is exactly what happened to me last time. I got a cliff drop off right there, and I got a rock wall on that side. Not the main rock wall, just another random one. I got no choice but to split the middle and just hope they don't narrow in until there's nowhere to go. Otherwise, I gotta turn around. This trail. Or I can try to get up on top of the rock wall. Now what? Up that? Over there? Sticker bushes. This is, I'm going to officially say after 2 tries at this trail, not recommended. It's just not enjoyable. Maybe without a pack day hiking, but even then I would say this is not enjoyable. It's sketchy, there's drop-offs. I'm half contemplating turning back again, but I am screwed if I do that time-wise. We're pushing on 12 o'clock now. This is ridiculous. And I just can't get through here with a pack. I don't know if I get through here without a pack. I am all cut up. I know I'm having a pity party, but this is just stupid. I'm at a little bit of a low point here, and my gut told me not to bother with this trail again. Okay. I'm out with a clear view of the sky. I'm trusting my GPS right now. All right. Now it shows I am pretty far off of it. Steep drop off. The only thing, I mean, it has to be that I've come off the trail, which normally is no big deal, but apparently back there, I'm thinking it wide off right before elevation change. And if you miss that split or that turn, whatever you want to call it, you end up on this ridge and no chance of getting back to it. So I'm going to backtrack and just, instead of putting my effort into bushwhacking through all that crap, put my effort into finding where that thing really branches off back there. It was, whatever. There was a piece of tape tied in that rock field, which led me to go up there, but that is not good information. Okay, we're going back, which is going to take some time as well, but it's okay. Let's just get out of this stuff. Oh my God, I found it. And it looks like a real trail again. I swear to God, this place is haunted, just for me. Very easy to get yourself in a situation where you're stuck either above or below that one of these ledges. And these high walls in here might mess with the GPS a little bit too. Throws things off. You start thinking you're supposed to be somewhere you're not. Frustration kicks in. Anyway, let's follow this up. Should be about a half mile. I'm mentally exhausted. Snack time. Now, ironically, the whole purpose of when I do this, dry ramen, is so I can eat it on the go. But at this point, I am at a section of the trail that I got to before I recognize it, which makes a big difference because I think the GPS just getting a little thrown off on here is a factor. Knowing where you are and what you're doing makes this trail completely different. So now I feel a lot better. I'm still not going to cook to save a little bit of time, but all the heavy breathing and pollen in the air, I think I'm coughing and wheezing and having a mini allergy attack. I just need to stop, have a snack, have some water. Hawksbill Summit is pretty close. If I remember correctly, it's real close once I get to the official trail up here. Maybe we'll take a quick look at that. It probably would make more sense to take my break up there, but I'm just, I know when I need a break. So, probably get back on the trail by 1 o'clock. It's like 12:40 right now. Oh man. It's getting cloudier. I guess those clouds we saw earlier are over here now. Almost to the top. I'm actually going the opposite direction I should, but the summit of Hawksbill is right here. Almost 360-degree views, or I'll call it 360. And look at this. Those are actually some dark clouds. Every time I come to this mountain, I bring the rain. Well, it's only the second time, but it feels like I brought the rain again. Last time I was here, in fact, I was using these crevasses. They were much fuller. I was using those for drinking water because I actually camped down on the edge down in there. Hung up my hammock in a rainstorm with wind on the side of a cliff. Smart, not exposed at all. But here it is. From here on out, it's 10 miles. So, get back into the rough stuff. Let's get to it. Yeah, that wind's picking up and the skies are getting gray. It is just crossed past 1:30 with my 10 miles to go and still some significant up and downs in elevation. I am a little behind the 8 ball as usual. And I may want to check my weather band radio again at some point. Get a quick update. See what I'm up against here. And we are firmly back in the woods, cruising along on the Jonas Ridge Trail as we leave Hawksbill, and this will take us over Sitting Bear Mountain. And those clouds are just stacking up. We're looking straight down the gorge. See that real sharp guy right there? That's short off. The cliff face looking thing on it. And that slope towards the river. And there. That's what we came up after the water crossing. That was that straight up section. Then wrapped around, because obviously we didn't scale the cliff. Then walked along the edge of it. There's our up and downs, up and downs, up and downs. Just came down that. All through those woods. Down and up. Over Sitting Bear. I'm looking forward to the rest of Jonas Ridge before we get on Devil's Cliff, because that'll be some ridge walk. Give me a little chance to soak in the breeze and not pump the quads quite so much. Believe it or not, this is the intersection. Not going that way. We're going Devil's Cliff. Should get some views out here too, if I remember correctly. Let's see what we have here. Nice. Just a little bit different angle. Other side of Hawksbill. Steep drop off as usual. On the other side of the ridge. We're going all along day one. Well, no, we went all along the river day one. Don't want to give myself too much credit here. Nice. The clouds keep rolling on. And I guess I should do the same. We're already at the intersection for Red South, which is our next adventure. Now, pretty easy to miss this one. Classic, unofficial Linville Gorge Trail. Yep. Can you tell me where the trail is? I came from over there. That was the trail. Let the navigation begin. I don't know how I forgot how rough of a trail Red South was last time, but it was rough. Right now I'm on Big Brushy or something like that, just as a connector. I'm done with Red South, and I'm gonna hit Red North, another unofficial trail, which should be right around here. And that's interesting. Usually you see a pile of sticks in front of what could be a trail. It's usually warning you, hey, this isn't really the trail, it's a runoff. But no, that is Red North. So no trail sign, just some sticks saying don't do this. This will be our kind of penultimate goal here. Take this Red North, maybe a couple minor connectors, unofficial stuff as well, and then get to the Gulf Contour Trail, and that is going to be my home stretch. I got one more major up and down between me and Gulf Contour. It's 5:20. My burger tonight just might have to be fast food. I think we're getting back to the vehicle late on this one. Race against the sun. But I am on Gulf Contour now. Home stretch.
Home stretch. Home stretch.
I have no idea what this trail is. It's on none of my maps. But it's not what I'm supposed to be on. And I've been on it for about 4/10 of a mile at least. Probably a mile round trip I just blew. Oh boy. I'm about at my wit's end, people. Still having a great trip. Still staying positive. But it's 7 o'clock and that's when I thought I'd be back, and I am on some trail in the middle of nowhere. So, and uphill to get back. Alright. We can do this. Back on the Gulf Trail. And just cruise control right to that parking lot. Stay with me, son. Don't go down yet. Oh my. And to add insult to injury, guess who just felt raindrops? And they're picking up. So, we're not going to break the rain streak with this video, I guess. Hopefully it's just a passing cloud, but I'll make a sprint for this vehicle. We made it. Back to the Jeep. Got dumped on pretty good at the end there, but that's all right. Man, it has been a pretty interesting, just about 13 hours on the dot. So not exactly setting any speed records, but I did have a good time, saw a lot, got beat up. I am bruised, battered, and tattered, But at least it didn't rain on us the whole time. So thank you for hiking with me on this one. If you're new to the channel and you enjoyed this, it takes me a little while to film and edit these. So just use that bell button down there and you'll get a notification when I post the next adventure. And for my longtime loyal viewers out there, you can use code BURGER10 on my merch shop and get 10% off. I'll leave that code up for a week or two. Speaking of flame broiled items, I'm pretty hungry and I need a shower. So I'm gonna head on out. It's time for us to part ways for now. So until next time, I'm Syntax77 and right now it's cheeseburger time. This video was sponsored by Upstart. Go to upstart.com/syntax and find out how low of a rate you can get today.